Hello and welcome, I'm Stas Butler and here's what happened this week. The 2023 Asian Games are just around the corner and Taiwanese athletes are already training hard. TaiwanPlus reporter Jeremy Olivier looks at Taiwan's competitive shooting team and how they're preparing for the event in China's Hangzhou in September.
Keeping a steady hand and a sharp eye, these competitive shooters from Taiwan are training up for the 2023 Asian Games, which will kick off in September in Hangzhou, China. For a country with strict gun laws, it might come as a surprise that Taiwan excels in shooting sports. But the country's team rocked the last Asian Games in 2018, taking home 2 gold medals, a silver, and a bronze. Several of Taiwan's top shooters are women. Lin Yingxin won Taiwan's first gold at the women's 10-meter air rifle competition in 2018's Games. She's been getting used to shooting with electronic triggers after switching from mechanical ones a couple months ago.
因为我个人比较敏感，那重量其实差个几公克，我就会感觉出来很明显的差异。出国的时候比较不用担心，因为它是电子的，那它不太会因为就是震动啊什么的去改变它那个克数。
Other team members are getting ready in their own way. Precision sports, like shooting, require deep concentration. Shooters, like Liu Xiaochuan, say they're just trying to get in the zone and stay there.
不争就是争嘛，那就不要让自己有太大的压力，希望能够就是发挥超水准的表现这样子。
As the September 9th opening date nears, Taiwan's eagle-eyed shooting team is aiming high for this year's Asian Games and looking to bring home another record haul of medals. Howard Zhang and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's reigning world champion of 10-ball pool has won again.
There it goes. Ji Cho wins the Predator Apex Wisconsin Open.
The victory in the Wisconsin Women's Open on Sunday gives Zhou Jieyu her first Pro Billiard Series title. It also guarantees her a spot in next year's World Championship to defend her 10-ball title. Zhou is also the women's 9-ball champion. She's the first in over 10 years to hold both titles at the same time. Taiwan has 4 female players in the world's top 20. Huge flocks of migratory seabirds have got stuck in southeastern Taiwan. Common terns spend the winter in Taiwan and head north for the summer around this time of year. But stormy weather has forced thousands of the birds to delay their departure. Bird watchers have themselves flocked to catch a last glimpse of the birds before they leave. Ecologists say loggers in southern Taiwan have felled endangered trees. The loggers clear-cut part of one of the world's highest beech forests in Taitung County on a site that they'd leased from the government. And the Taiwan Ecological Society says they cut down 3 species of endangered tree. In all, the loggers removed 13 hectares of forest. One local councillor is urging for them to be fined. Environmental groups say this type of destruction could harm Taiwan's biodiversity. Around the world, biodiversity loss is accelerating at a rapid pace. In Taiwan, one of the most biodiverse places on Earth, authorities are trying to protect it by putting a price on nature. Sally Jensen reports.
Taiwan and its surrounding waters are blessed with a huge amount of biodiversity. The island has a species-to-land area ratio 150 times the world average. It already protects a massive 30% of its nature, and now the Forestry Research Institute has valued those nature reserves at around $2 billion. This takes into account the ecological and biological benefits of Taiwan's abundant forests.
保育之外，它还有包括环境的啦、水土保持啊，还包括一些水土涵养。
But its value could be even higher if other social benefits are taken into account.
社会价值啊，包括像我们现在谈森林疗愈谈油气、谈休闲。
Some environmentalists hope that putting a price on Taiwan's nature will help its continued preservation. They say it is the only way to make destructive industries pay for the damage they create.
森林的开发或是生物多样性的损失，它会造成的就是
不管是微气候，或者是水源涵养，或者是国土保安这类的灾难的这些部分，如果这个价值算出来之后，其实业者就应该要投入相等的价值来做这个生物多样性的基本的维持。
But the Forestry Research Institute also says it's difficult to put a price on the full value of wildlife and the ecology. The Institute's Wu Mengling says the ecology is priceless. The value of biodiversity must take into account three elements: ecology, life, and productivity. Habitats, rainfall, and climate change should all be accounted for. Countries around the world are putting a price on nature and wildlife in an effort to protect them. But placing monetary value on the planet's biodiversity may do little to change people's perceptions and could reinforce the belief that nature is a commodity which can be bought and sold. Howard Zhang and Sally Jensen in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Central Taiwan's Sun Moon Lake has finally seen enough heavy rain to bring its water levels back up. Many have looked to Taiwan's so-called plum rain season for relief amid a historic drought. A recent weather front brought large amounts of rain to tourist hotspot Sun Moon Lake, which is also a reservoir. Its water levels have now reached 80% of capacity. The lake was only 20% full just last month. Other reservoirs in southern Taiwan have yet to see similar rainfall, but officials are hopeful that will change soon. And recent rains have resulted in a sweet surprise. A historic drought in southern Taiwan has been hampering mango harvests, but the tropical fruit is beginning to bounce back just in time for the summer. Leslie Liao explains.
Mango ice. It's a popular dessert in Taiwan, especially during the summer months. The sweet, tangy, refreshing flavors are perfect for cooling off when the weather gets hot. And the treat is made with one of Taiwan's most beloved fruits. But the country's mango harvests are in a tight spot this year. Taiwan is going through a drought which has hampered early production. There is one saving grace. Recent rains have boosted not just the number, but the quality of mangoes coming out of farms in southern Taiwan. Higher quality mangoes could mean that drought relief is coming. Southern Taiwan's Kaohsiung City is one place that might see its thirst quenched soon. Mayor Chen Qimai has indicated that if the rainy weather persists, the city could ease its restrictions on water usage in June. Though mango ice provides cool comfort, making it through the drought will be even sweeter. Eason Chen and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Love is in the air for the penguins at Pingtung Aquarium in southern Taiwan. The enclosure is gearing up for the penguins' breeding season in July. Caretakers have been setting the scene with annual health checks for the birds and building a small pebble mountain. Pebbles are used as a type of love token between mating penguins. Male penguins will choose a pebble to present to their mate in hopes of starting a family, and if accepted, the pebble will then become part of that couple's nest. Taiwan placed its countryside landscape center stage at this year's Venice Architecture Biennale. The designer of the Taiwan exhibition used the space to best show off the team's work.
用一个比较大张的桌子，然后它像是一条很漂亮的极简的水平线飘在这个展场当中，去贯穿整个动线，所以每一个小房间都被我们贯穿起来，然后变成是一个流动的状态。
Curator Zheng Wei says in previous years, Taiwan's display focused on elite architects, but this year the spotlight is on work done by students. It's also the first year that 5 schools have teamed up to create Taiwan's display. This is the 18th Venice Architecture Biennale. The theme is the Laboratory of the Future. All this week, we've been bringing you on a journey through Taiwan's outlying islands of Matsu. Today, Andrew Ryan brings us further afield in search of the elusive blue tears in the final installment of Where's Matsu's County Chief Taking Us?
As my time in Matsu draws to a close, I travel to the most remote islands in the chain, where decades of military and geographic isolation have preserved some of the most stunning sights in all of Taiwan. like this rare sight, square waves, which you can only see in 2 other places in the world. And then there's the critically endangered Chinese crested tern. There are only 100 of them left on Earth. And in the island of Dongju, we get a solo performance from this striking beauty.
This is the only lighthouse in all of Taiwan made from granite stones. And see that wall there? That's to block the wind. So imagine late at night, you're bringing fuel up to fuel the lighthouse, you're carrying a little lantern, you don't have to worry about the flame blowing out.
The isolation is great for visitors, but not so great for the people who live here.
早期在 7 还没有开的时候，我们这边只有杂货店的时代，我们买任何东西，我们的东西会比台湾贵1倍，所以我们很多的时候我们会习惯会从台湾叫生活用品过来，可是要等货船，早期是1个月一班，所以物资都要等。
The county chief suggests a trip to Daqiu. It's only a half square kilometer in size, and it's uninhabited. Uninhabited by people, that is.
大邱有梅花鹿，跟人跟梅花鹿之间的互动，让游客心里会觉得非常的舒适，而且这样子的互动在台湾少见。
Sika deer were once considered a source of income for the military. Now they're a protected species. They released 13 deer on this island 20 years ago, and today there are more than 200.
So the trick is when you're feeding them, you have to stand off to the side a little bit, otherwise you're going to get butted with their horns. They're very cute. They look quite aggressive, but actually I think they're just hungry. What's amazing about this is I've actually never seen Sika deer in the wild like this before. I've only seen them at a zoo. So it's really cool that they found a way to bring back a wild population of them on this island here.
There's one last thing to see in our trip to Matsu, an elusive phenomenon known as the blue tears. The bioluminescence comes from plankton, which gather here to feed in the spring. If you want to see it, you need just the right conditions. High tide, a southerly wind, a moon that's not too bright, and you'll need some waves, a boat, or something else to agitate the water. In the past, the locals thought the blue glow was a nuisance because it alerted the authorities to people smuggling on the high seas. But these days, the blue tears bring in a new source of income: tourism. Thousands of people flock here every year, hoping to see what the international media have called one of the natural wonders of the world. Some people even brave the cold seawater, soaking for hours just to get the perfect photo. And of course, while I'm there, I can't resist getting a photo of my own. But what if you want a less curated view of the blue tears? We decide to leave the crowds behind and take a boat into the darkness of the ocean.
It's almost like you're looking into outer space. You can see sparkling like stars, the Milky Way, this essence coming up from the waters. It's breathtaking. And it's one of those things that you have to come here in order to see it for yourself, otherwise you would never believe it.
It's not easy to see the sights of Matsu. In just 4 days, we took a plane, 7 boats, and plenty of car rides in between. But the trip is worth it. Isolated by the weather and the sea and years of military occupation, these islands are like nowhere else in Taiwan, or really, nowhere else in the world. Alex Chen, Devin Tsai, Peachy Drong, and Andrew Ryan for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching Here's What Happened. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of woylies being released into the wild in South Australia. The woylie is a critically endangered species of marsupial. I'm Stas Butler. Take care and see you next week.